ERC, quality service since 1972, repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is the Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, February the 22nd, and it's going to be a chilly day. Let's get right to some Skycam images. We're looking out over Decatur, and we see a few cold air clouds out there as the cold front has passed by. Still cloudy, especially from just north of Birmingham and just north of Anniston down to the south, and we can see that from the Mount Cheaha Skycam. And then here's just a look at the buildings across Birmingham, and you can see some clouds as we look out over the city skyline there at Birmingham. Cold front moved through the area last night, and unfortunately for most of us, we got very little, if any, rain. Just the atmosphere, I was looking at the sounding last night, the atmosphere just too dry. The trough has dug into the eastern half of the country, and so that's going to make for a very chilly day today. Cold air, you can see some minus only single-digit values up over parts of North and South Dakota and Wisconsin there. So just chilly air coming down into the southeastern U.S. You can see the wind flow, northwesterly flow. You can also see the temperatures generally freezing across the Tennessee River Valley this morning, and just a hair above freezing in central Alabama, rather uniform, 33 at Tuscaloosa, Calera, Birmingham, and only 34 at Anniston. So a rather chilly day in store as temperatures only climb into the 40s for the highs. That storm system giving some problems to New England with winter storm warnings and advisories in effect up in the New England states, and still a few wind advisories in the Carolinas and southeastern Georgia. QPF-wise, it looks like out at the end of the period is when we're going to see much of the precipitation. So it looks like for Birmingham and central Alabama, we're not going to see much rain for the next 5 days. Comes late on Thursday and into Friday. All right, here's the 06E GFS model run. And you can see the 540 thickness line running across the Tennessee River Valley this morning. And the trough has dug in, and it looks like it's going to move a little bit east on Monday. And that means we should not see any extreme cold, but that'll mean a rather chilly morning tomorrow morning. And we should see temperatures on Monday with plenty of sunshine warm up just a little bit. The trough moves off the east coast, and that flattens the pattern for us, and so we are going to be high and dry on Tuesday. Not much change on Wednesday as we see a number of little impulses moving through the flow, but those look like with a dry atmosphere, we're going to see just a few clouds. And then you can see for Wednesday, the high moves off to the east of us, and that means return flow coming up with a little moisture. But again, I think for the most part, just going to be dry. Here comes on Thursday, here comes our next trough coming out of central Canada, diving down into the central and north central United States, and that will be developing a surface low over the central plains of the United States, and that's what's going to affect us on Friday. The trough digs in again, but not a real strong amplitude to this, as we see the upper air flow here, and that should bring the low well up into New England, dragging the cold front down into our area, and so it looks like the best threat for storms is going to come on Friday, and it's questionable as to whether or not this could be a severe weather event. Right now, I certainly would forecast some thunderstorms, but I don't know that they'll be severe. We'll be watching the instability, and that's always a question, especially with these early systems in February. The front moves off the east coast. The high settles in over Chicago, and that should dry us out for next Saturday. And then looking at the upper air pattern on the 1st of March, we're generally under we're kind of between the trough and the ridge, so just a slight northwesterly flow. So temperatures probably pretty close to normal as the high moves off to the east once again and moisture begins returning into the central plains. All right, let's go out into Voodoo, and we've got a number of systems. On the 3rd, we've got a nice short wave coming across the north central United States, and that should drag another cold front down into the area on the 3rd. That's Tuesday. Then another system on the 6th, so it's a nice train of storm systems. miles. That brings another surface low through the Ohio River Valley. And then finally, and this one is looking really impressive. Of course, this is way out in voodoo. This is the 9th, Monday the 9th, and certainly an interesting closed low at 500 millibars. And that looks like a rather strong storm system. And if that verifies, then of course we would be concerned about severe weather. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Extreme video. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. James should be back with the next edition bright and early Monday morning. Hope that you have a great Sunday. Godspeed.